So I actually was a copy editor for a number of years at different newspapers. And then when I had a kiddo, I quickly realized that schedule was not gonna work. So I kind of looked around, and I've always been a big reader. And I happened to see an opening with Books Forward, formerly JKS Communications, and kind of weaseled my way in there. It was a very fortuitous timing. So I've been with the company for about 5 years now, and have learned a ton of different things, and also have gotten to put to use my copy editing skills, my joy of reading. It's really the perfect job for me, and I feel very lucky. I work on the publicity side, and I also oversee other publicists, as well as our digital marketing team. Kind of have a hand in everything, and I love our company. I love the authors we work with, and I just feel really lucky I get to do something so cool, because it's one of those jobs you don't really necessarily know as a job when you're growing up, as a kid. So I feel very lucky that I found it.
And I saw on the website as of this recording, your title is Publicity Director at this point.
I think that's right. Yep.
You're training all the incoming publicists.
Yes. So I train our interns, I train our contractors and our publicists as they kind of move up and become more senior. We go through a lot of different training processes, and I've kind of helped to put those in place with the help of a lot of other people. It is certainly not a solo mission by any means. I do much better work when I work with other people, and that's kind of our company motto. We all work really well together, which has been nice. But yeah, that is one of the parts of my job that I really love, is kind of getting to brainstorm different things with all the publicists, which is really great.
So, I mean, you're the perfect person for me to be talking to, because I'm going to pull up the Book Forward website in a bit here, and we'll go through almost like an application process, so you can walk me through what all the authors watching or listening can maybe expect.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I want to talk just a little bit about your background and how you become a publicity director.
Sure.
So, well, let's start with copy editing. It's not a good schedule for having a child.
Well, copy editing at a daily newspaper is not. You work nights, you work weekends, you work holidays, so it is it's tough. I mean, you love it when you're in your early 20s and at a college newspaper, but then you get a little older and you're tired all the time. So that was a little tough with a newborn. And I loved working in a newspaper, and my husband still works at a newspaper, so big believer in the press. But yeah, schedule wise, it was a little tough, and so I was like, man, I always wanted to work in books. Kind of seemed like a pipe dream, but I was like, let me see what's out there. Just worked out really, really well.
You were a big reader as a child on, right?
Oh God, yes. I mean, I used to set an alarm at night to read under the covers after my parents had gone to sleep, because I needed to squeeze in. Yeah, I know. No, because I wasn't getting enough reading time during the day, so I would wake up at night and read under the covers for a while. And yeah, I mean, my mom used to tell us, stop reading in the car, because she wanted us to like talk to her. And so yeah, I mean, I grew up reading. My parents, I was lucky enough to have parents who just read to me all the time, so I grew up surrounded by books, and that definitely played a big part in who I am today.
So when you're coming up on graduation, you're looking toward journalism right off the bat, or were you thinking,
yeah, that's pretty much
an author?
To be honest with you, I have never had a dream to become an author, because it seems really hard, and I am not somebody who wants to do that soul bearing journey. I don't think that I have that in me. I mean, I have ideas every now and then, but I never ever follow through on them. So maybe one day I will. But yeah, after I pretty much studied journalism in college, and then kind of just I worked at the student media newspaper, and kind of just knew that I was going to go into newspapering as I graduated. And then I guess I always just had kind of books in the back of my mind, but I didn't know book publicity was a job. I just thought, you're an editor, or you write reviews, and I didn't know if I wanted to do that or would be good at it. And so now I actually write reviews for, for fun, and I work on the publicity side of things for work. So it's the best of both worlds.
Something I saw, you worked at a few different media outlets, with the Dallas Morning News, the Waco Tribune Herald, some others. And then I saw that you were coordinating book coverage for the Advocate newspaper of Baton Rouge in New Orleans.
Yeah. So when I was at the Advocate, which has papers in Acadiana, which is Lafayette, and then Baton Rouge and New Orleans, I wrote book reviews there, and that was a wonderful, that was so much fun to get to do. And so now I do that on the side for the New York General books. And then I have a Bookstagrammer account where I do that for fun as well. So, but yeah, it's definitely a different experience, writing the book reviews and then getting into the actual book publicity, like really the meat of things.
I see. I thought I had saw that you were doing more than 100 plus books per year at one point, or maybe currently.
Oh, that's supposed to be my dirty little secret. It's kind of embarrassing. It's an escape from reality. And especially the past 2 years, it's just been like, let me not watch the news. I'm going to read this book about space. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's an issue, yeah, last year, I think I ended on, I don't even know, maybe 160 or something like that. Yeah, it's a lot.
That might be embarrassing in some place. I can't think, not any place I'd want to go, but it's
like, don't you have
on
anything else going on?
Here.
No, I don't have anything else going on, honestly.
So how many books are you reading then on a week? What's your regular reading schedule?
I would guess I finish maybe 2 or 3 a week. I mean, it depends on the week. And honestly, now that we're kind of starting to get back into things, it'll probably go down, but that's what it's kind of been the past. And of course, it depends on the book too. I'm reading The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois, and that's like an 800-page literary fiction novel. That'll probably take me 3 weeks to get through. But if it's just like a space adventure, I can get through that in 3 or 4 days. And that's usually, I try to kind of mix it up and do some of different genres.
Are you still setting an alarm to wake up after everybody's asleep to do a little reading?
No. I miss little Ellen, who used to do that. What a naive fool. Sleep. That's where you need to focus.
Are you some of those audiobooks as well? Or?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'll set a TBR for the month, and I'll kind of look and see what my library has available as audiobook, but I also use Libro FM for audiobooks. I have a membership there, and so I get a credit every month and can kind of pick and choose what I want to listen to. But that's a big thing for me as a mom, doing dishes, driving around in the car, whatever else. It makes it a lot easier to get through books, and also like the experience for some books of listening to them, and the narrator's choices and things like that are really fun.
Yeah, that's one of the big things that helped get me through this pandemic. Knock on wood that we're on our way out. I had my membership with the local library, and they've got 2 different apps that you can download as many audiobooks as you want. So
great. I feel so lucky. Like, I'll look and I'll be like, they have this, they have this, they have this. And so I can kind of switch back and forth. If I'm reading at night, I'll read the print version. If I'm driving somewhere, I can pick it up where I left off in the audio version. It's awesome.
You switch back and forth to print to the that doesn't annoy you when you're reading it in one voice on the print version and then some narrator has their take?
No, I mean, there's every once in a while I'll run across a narrator and that I do not like. And recently I read a romance book, and it was like from the voice of it was narrated in the book by a female, and the narrator was a male, and it kind of threw me. But it really usually doesn't bother me unless the narration is just really outstandingly bad. But that's how I read probably 50% of my books, is switching back and forth between print and audio.
And do you make time for, I don't know, Netflix series that you binge or video games?
I do, believe it or not. It's amazing. I mostly have been rewatching things recently, but there's a couple shows that I'll try, maybe a new show every other month or so. I'm very into Avid Elementary right now. So funny. And it's Avid Elementary Day. I'm very excited. That means I can watch it tonight or watch it tomorrow morning. It's going to be great.
And then it's you mentioned science fiction is is a favorite of yours.
Absolutely.
Have absolute favorite genres, or do you like a little bit of everything?
I like a little bit of everything. I would say science fiction is probably my favorite. I read a lot of fantasy. I've been reading more romance. I tend to only pick and choose. I'm very picky about like middle grade and YA, because I know those are written for a younger audience, and I don't want it to like, you know, my review of being like rolling my eyes at the young adults. Well, they're teenagers. Of course, you're gonna roll your eyes at them, you know. So I want to give them a chance. What else? Yeah, I mean, I like literary fiction. I actually thought I hated historical fiction, but I got kind of into that last year. So, but yeah, sci-fi will always be my favorite. I have my Becky Chambers books right there. She's my absolute fave, and I'm always looking for my next space opera adventure.